stative verbs?
Does not have that ing.
Perfect. Good job, Apurva. So stative verbs are those verbs that do not have ing form. Words like love, understand, know, they don't have ing form. Now, if you say that loving, understanding, knowing, these words exist, yes, they do. But they are not verbs, they're adjectives. So, for example, when I explain something, either you will understand or you will not understand. I'll ask you, do you understand? I cannot ask, are you understanding? क्योंकि आप कुछ या तो समझते हो तो नहीं समझते हो. Yes, Abhi.
You can say, are you starting to understand?
Are you starting to understand? I would prefer, are you beginning to understand? Okay, I prefer personally to use, but starting is not wrong. So the rule of stative verbs is, because they do not have ing form, when you use stative verbs, you have to insert a separate ing verb in it. When you want to talk in continuous tense, your ing forms are required for progressive or continuous tenses. Present continuous, past continuous, future continuous, or present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous. These 6 tenses, whenever you make sentences in these 6 tenses, you use your verb in ing form. And because stative verbs do not have ing form, you have to insert a separate ing verb. So the word love, understand, know, they don't have ing form. So if I want to say, मैं प्यार में पड़ रही हूँ, because continuous है, चालू है process, I am falling in love. मैं आपको समझने लगी हूँ, I am beginning to understand you. मैं आपको जानने लगी हूँ, I am getting to know you. Are we clear, people? There are many more words apart from these 3. Okay, so in the future, whenever you happen to use stative verbs in your sentences, just keep in mind they do not have ing form, and when you want to talk in continuous tense using any of the stative verbs, you have to insert your own ing verb. Okay, let's move to the third type, which is helping verb, also known as auxiliary verb. This is the easiest of the lot. Auxiliary verb, also known as helping verb. Why do we call them helping verb? Because it helps the main action in the sentence. Now, whenever your sentences are in continuous form, whether it is present continuous, past continuous, future continuous, you need to have is, am, are, was, were, or will be, shall be. Without that, the listener doesn't know action kab hua hai. What is the purpose of tenses? The purpose of tenses is to let you know ki action kab hua hai, the timeline of the event, right? So, for example, I am teaching verbs and its types. I don't use am. I just say I teaching verbs and its types. First of all, I should not be teaching English because I am speaking like that. Second, the am tells you whether the action is happening right now. Instead of am, if I say I was teaching English or I was teaching verbs and its types, you know that it past mein ho raha tha. So is, am, are, was, were, will be, shall be tells you action kab chalu tha. Understood? And that's why in the sentence, I am teaching verbs and its types. There are how many verbs? In this sentence, I am teaching verbs and its types. How many verbs do we have? 2. What are those? Teaching and am. Teaching is my main verb. It's the action that I'm doing. It talks about the actual action. If, instead of teaching, I could have said I'm dancing. I am dancing, or I am singing, or I'm sleeping. That is your main verb, your main action verb. And this is helping my main verb by giving me the idea of the timeline. That is why it is known as helping verb. Are we clear? Yes. That's all. Auxiliary verb, also known as helping verb, they help us to complete the timeline of this action. and they help the main verb in the sentences. Any questions on this, people? I hope you all will remember this time. Yeah? Okay, next one is transitive versus intransitive verb. I'm going to write at the bottom. Again, this is not difficult. Transitive versus intransitive verb. Yes? Yes, Ansh?
Can you print it? Now, after you're writing, can you print it? I want to write there.
You want me to tilt the board like this? Are you able to see? Ansh? Okay, I'll click the picture and I'll send it to you. Don't worry about it. So, transitive verb versus intransitive verb. Now, there are some verbs that can be utilized by themselves. They are complete by themselves. There are some verbs where you need an object in a sentence. Now, I'm going to write two sentences on the whiteboard. You tell me which sentence makes sense, okay? I teach. I teach English. Tell me if both these sentences make sense to you. I teach, मैं पढ़ाती हूँ. I teach English, मैं English पढ़ाती हूँ. Do both these sentences make sense for you?
Yes.
They do?
Yes.
I know Yash had a different belief the other day, right? When we were covering this. So I teach, मैं पढ़ाती हूँ. It doesn't tell you क्या पढ़ाती हूँ, और जरूरी भी नहीं है. इतना आप समझ गए कि person is a trainer or a teacher or a lecturer or a professor. पढ़ाते, सिखाते. It could be anything. It could be yoga, dance, languages, chemistry, whatever. In the second sentence, I have given additional information by adding the object English. So I is your subject, teach is your verb, subject, verb, object. Now the word teach is an intransitive verb. It means it can function by itself. It doesn't need an object. And that is why I teach is sufficient. The word teach is an intransitive verb. It means it doesn't require an object to make complete sense. It can function by itself. But there are verbs that cannot function by themselves. If I say, I bought, मैंने खरीदा, the question that pops into your head is, क्या खरीदा? What did you buy? Right? So the word buy, bought, these are transitive verbs. They require an object to make complete sense. Okay, so these intransitive, your teach. Okay, but if I say I bought, then it sounds incomplete. It needs an object to make complete sense. For example, I buy vegetables once in 3 days. I don't buy them every day. I don't have the time nor the patience to stand in the queue at the store. So once in 3 days, I go buy the supplies. It's sufficient. Once it's almost over, then I get buy the fresh supplies. This morning, when I was leaving for work, I told my dad, Daddy, आज रात को जाते हैं supplies लेने को, भाजी, कांदा, batata, tomato, whatever. My father was like, let's go tomorrow. He was feeling lazy. I said, okay, ठीक है. I checked the fridge. I noticed there was enough that I can cook tomorrow. I said, okay, fine. Tomorrow night we'll go. So I buy vegetables once in 3 days. Now, instead of saying buy, instead of saying vegetables, I just say I buy once in 3 days. What do I buy once in 3 days? Vegetables or drugs? Right? Just joking, okay? Don't do drugs. Be safe. So, I buy is an incomplete sentence, or if I just say I buy once in 3 days, it's an incomplete sentence. You need your object to make sense. Are we clear, people?
Yes.
And buy is your transitive verb. It requires an object. With that, we stop. Thank you.